quick introduction to this project. First of all, this is going to be a long, super duper long project, multi-stage, super project. On the screen you should see Evie, because I should be able to talk and have this video recording and show Evie, because I've done that with a recent recording I was doing elsewhere. Like I said, hopefully by doing both these stuff I'll increase my editing skills. Yeah, I want to kind of go into this a little bit, what this is, before we actually get started. So first of all, this is going to be a small ongoing project that's just going to basically be me doing a simple run through, a simple version of me telling a simple story and trying to roleplay it, see how it plays out, see what troubles I have, what stuff like that. To do this, I'm going to play a bunch of games, but basically I'm mixing D&D with basically it's D&D plus replacing all the dice rolls and stuff with encounters with video games. So right now, I'm changing from where I was starting the other story. Just a little bit. That story happens after this. So this is the actual official beginning for DV. I have a middle story that might hit between the two other stories, but the problem with those stories is that requires me having knowledge of a completely different engine, because I'd want to make it a sports game. So if I ever make a sports game, it'll be at that point between that, and if I'm making that, then we'll come back to that point that's between this story and the second story, which was I was trying to stream. I'm going to repeat that, restart that story as well, but we're going to start here first. And the reason being is that this is the tale of DV basically accidentally doing something in the digital world, or he has his digital diving powers from the get-go. This is just something for DV. I have the ability to do little dice checks every so often, and one time it actually said, no, he actually's had this power since forever. He knows how to do digital diving, he knows how to do all this stuff. So I thought, what better way to show that than with a little simple game here called, which the music's been playing the whole time, Copy Kitty. This is basically DV possibly getting into a little bit over his head. He's at the current age of 9. I chose this age because this is also the age of Frisk from Undertale, who are also 9 to 11. So somewhere around that range of age. Since I'm going to be mixing this with Undertale. So what I'll probably do is I'll jump between this, Undertale, and a third game, a game called Distorted Travesty, which is a game where I've been wanting to find a place for it, but wanting to play through that game from the beginning again, I did not want to do. But I came with a compromise for my brain. And the reason I don't want to start that game from the beginning is because I have the last level unlocked right now. So that's the problem. I have the last level unlocked right now. So I kind of wanted to basically... Yeah, I don't want to start that game over. The game's hard. I don't like it. I set the difficulty down because it gets ridiculous at a certain point. So I think I had to switch the difficulty in the final level because it just got too ridiculous. But even then, I'm struggling against this one boss. And I think the reason I'm struggling is because I don't have enough power-up. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm at the end of the game and I have to backtrack through every part of the game anyway, I'm just going to do that. Also, this is going to be the part. This is going to be the introduction part because this explains everything. But from here out, commentary is going to get a little wild because I'm going to be recording 3 games at the same time and then editing them together into 30-minute chunks. So you can also look at this like an archipelago where every little bit, every chunk of something is something else between these 3 games. It'll probably work like that as far as editing is concerned. But yeah, this is just a simple explanation of this project. And from here on, I'm going to try to be in character, which is just myself as I go through this. But as if that. A basic synopsis of the story is that one day Evie dives into the computer, bumps into somebody else with a similar skill, and that other person with a similar skill basically shows Evie the stuff he could do with his powers. Like, Evie just basically hops in, enjoys living in the world of his favorite games, you know, just breezing, and he understands that he can fight. He just thinks like basically casual fun and whatnot. He does have some combat skills, but like not that much. He basically, if he's going to dive into a game, he usually picks like a more safer game to dive into. But at the same time, he has done a few things, and he also knows that he can get hurt in the digital world, but he can't really, like, but it takes a lot because the digital magic around him actually protects him a bit. So he's allowed to be a little bit brave and crazy with stuff, but he knows that he'll get hurt. But basically, long story short, yeah. So at this point, commentary may cut between 3 different things because maybe I'll start with Undertale. I don't know. I want to play through Undertale again. I think I have to start that one over because I moved it from a computer to a different computer from when I last streamed. So yeah. Also, Undertale is the main RPG for this. So yeah, there's that. Maybe me and Lynn will do a randomizer on Newfie Gamers, but right now, we're just going to play the normal one, and when we get back to the other story, I'll also throw in Earthbound, like the original Earthbound, to just go through that as well. To mix into the madness, like whenever we get into a dungeon, just swap it from the dungeon, or like swap it from the overworld to that. Never know. Whenever I enter a dungeon, it just goes into a different game instead. So yeah. Also, I'm going to have to figure out how this all ties together, because Undertale is like 5 zones. This is, turns out this is 12 worlds plus 13. And the module I'm going to be using, which I might be showing here, is a module called Rick and Morty's Dungeon of Wickedness. It's a D&D starter pack-like thing. That's pretty silly. It's got some pretty funny bits in it. And honestly, the chaoticness of it either would go with a time travel story or something like this where it's just running through a quick batch of the digital world. Basically, 3 semi-short experience games, except for Distorted Travesty, but that one, the only problem is we might not be able to fight the bosses again. That's the only problem. I could start that game over. I just don't want to. We'll do what we can. I honestly probably can't show the bosses. We'll think about that. Let's just get started with this. This plan might not work as well as I want it to. Or I could just play this. That's the other thing. I could just play this and get inspiration from the other games to actually build the game itself, but I probably also just I would like to show those 2 games off because I've never actually beat neutral mode, because when we were trying to record it, my ex played neutral mode of Undertale, and yeah, but enough talk. Hopefully I had things pop up on screen to keep you all entertained while that was being explained, because otherwise, yeah. Anyway, let's begin this project. Maybe I'll just do copycatty, maybe I'll swap between games. I will figure out how I feel. There's Distorted Travesty is one I yeah. you know what? This might just be a good little introduction slab to introduce this project. I might just throw this up as is, like, as soon as I do the little editing and show off everything that I want to show off, but, obviously, but other than that, I might just have this be like its own little introductory part just to kind of explain the 3 games and have like this little music in the background that's pretty dope. So how long did I ramble for? Yeah, 10 minutes of rambling. Yeah, this is just an introduction episode, no question about it. So yeah, that's going to be the idea of the project, more or less. I'm going to try to stay in character, try to do stuff like that. If I break character, it's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't. I don't always have to be in character, especially if we're getting frustrated at the games. I'll try to record all 3 games and alternate between them in between episodes to keep 30 and then make it like a 30-minute episode, like roughly 30. Like, if there's like a stage, I might do it between like swaps. But yeah, Undertale might get swapped to a lot for indication parts, but I'm gonna have to. Is this gonna be a lot of editing stuff? So honestly, if you don't see another part of this up in a moment, then understand that it's probably because it's probably mostly because the what's the word I'm looking for? I can speak English, I promise. It's the only language I know besides a tiny bit of Spanish. But that's beside the point. And yes, I know I'm all jittery because I want this project to work, but at the same time to try to help me figure out the story. But the other problem is that this is a story between like 2 characters of mine, because it's Evie and Johnny Blacklight, who is, yeah, both of them are my characters. No one else really has characters here unless they wanted to. And technically there was a small roleplay that happened beforehand. Depending on how I feel, I might implement that. Also depending on how we feel, I wonder if I could do that. Do a poll and then also have it to where it shows the video on Twitch. If I'm doing that on Twitter, I mean, or X. Silly name. Then basically I'll throw this up as on there for that factor. And then I will let people, I might put up a vote. My brain had to vote with the questions for the vote. And now, I know I want to, now my brain has decided to be like, hey, I'm going to break now. So that's always fun. Crap, what was the question? I was going to actually put a vote. I guess in a stupid sense, if I had it set up to where we split it up between like the 5 sections of Undertale. Undertale could be like the last part for each thing, and like have it to where we jump from thing to thing. I literally forgot why I was going to ask these questions, and now I'm just kind of thinking this. It's like, because we might just jump, I might just have it to where it's like, alright, I do this, and then I do a thing in Distorted Travesty, and then I jump from Distorted Travesty to there. Like, also, technically, on Twitter, X or whatever, I actually voted, and they said that they wanted like a mix of D&D plus like an archipelago. For those uninitiated, archipelago, not the like mountain range or whatever. It's a name that people use for a thing where you can basically have like 6 games going at the same time and they link between each other, and like things are locked behind each other's games and stuff like that. So basically something like that, except for I have to do it manually, because I have to do it manually. We're all going to just pretend that we're doing it manually, basically. I guess, as much as I'm going to hate it, I'll start Distorted Travesty over. The reason I hate it is I hate the controls of that game. That's my biggest grief. But I'll try to get this ready. These uploads will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and maybe like one day on the weekend. Whatever day I'm not editing for New Feed Gamers. Because New Feed Gamers I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So these will be a Tuesday, Thursday thing. So either I will do... However I do this, I will also keep in mind for how I want to do certain things. There are 5 zones in Undertale, 12 worlds in this game, and like, I think 8 muffins in Distorted Travesty. So, that's going to have to be the keyest part. Is that if each of these places are connected, then yeah, like we have like the chemical plant, the wild, undergrounds. I don't even know what the rest of the worlds are. I don't think they'll tell me. Nope. They didn't even tell me what this one is. It's like a warehouse. I guess I popped in from the underground. I've only played this game a little bit. So I have to figure out how to split that up. And there's 39 rooms in Dungeon of Wickedness, which I was like, this is easy because I can just split each of these worlds into 3, and that equals one thing. But now we have the new problem of like that. Also, to be fair, I'm probably also throwing Mario 1 and Lost Levels to this, but on the caveat that I've already done those games on a BitTalk shuffler. I ain't doing it again. Those games have already been documented. It's fine. Also, it's Mario 1 and Lost Levels. There's really not much going on there. Except for wind physics and Lost Levels. That's it. It'll be more interesting to dive between at least either these 2 games or these 2 games plus Undertale. Actually, I guess I can let that be the vote. Is if I should throw in the RPG or just keep the RPG in, keep the RPG aspect in, that. So I'll record some random footage for the other things to kind of showcase here while I'm talking about and everything, but yeah, we'll try to follow the logic of it. I could just do this game just by itself, but this is what my mind goes through all the time. If you wonder why I'm so indecisive sometimes, this is why. This is just my ramblings right now. It's literally just my brain on full steam going right now. It's like literally bouncing between ideas. So this is like an inside of that, which is always fun. But I'll edit this down. So I'll edit this in a way to where you can kind of see what I'm talking about instead of like typical where nobody understands what the frick I'm talking about because yeah. So yeah, anyway, bye. See you all next time. See you for the actual start of this on Thursday. And let's have fun with this project. I guess the thing I could do is I might do a vote on 1, if the RPG should be a part of it, and 2, if the one, if the RPG should be a part of it, and two, if I should bounce from game to game per episode or stay in one game per episode. Because I could finagle it in a way to where we could do a bit of all that. It's totally possible. Yeah, anyway. Let's give my brain a minute to think about that, and then I will... But I'm going to record... Regardless, I'm going to at least record 2 of the games. World 1 of this, and maybe like 3 levels of... Distorted Travesty. And again, I have to figure out if I want to do... collection run, which would show most of the game except for the bosses, which might be better because some of the bosses are garbo anyway. I guess that's also a thing I'll put on the vote. Okay. Basically, I think I need to put this... I'm going to see if I can put this video down and also put a vote. So... It'll be a very interesting vote, because I'm going to have to try to figure out how to put in the question of Undertale yay or nay, and actually I might just literally put that up and then put 3 votes down below with 2 answers each. I think that's probably the best option, and have to make sure people see those. Anyway, I'll also put a link to that poll in the description as soon as I make the polls. So, yes. See y'all next time. See you all for the actual start of this on Thursday. I rambled for 22 minutes. Basically is what just happened. But I had to explain what this was, because this is going to be confusing otherwise. And that's the problem, as this is highly confusing.